Have you ever wondered what a life coach does? Today you'll find out in my interview with Kathleen, Sunny Life Coach. We discuss what she does, who she helps, goal setting and plans, and so much more. So today I'm interviewing Kathleen from Pennsylvania. Hi, Kathleen.
Oh, hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. So today, Kathleen is just going to tell us a little bit about what she does as a life coach and how she got started.
My business is Sunny Life Coach. I do online coaching for small businesses and individuals. My background, excuse me, I've worked over 20 years in the corporate world. I managed operations. And so I had every piece of the operation, whether it be the human resource piece and coaching, counseling, and developing employees, or the business management piece of it, the account management, the project management, technology, you name it, from start to finish. I've dealt with the whole operation. And as you might have figured, the corporate world is not as much fun as you think it might be. And so when life changed a little, I decided I would take the best of what I liked in the corporate world, which was the working with my employees, working with the teams, coaching them, helping them bring the resources together and to achieve what they want. And I created my own private practice, Sunny Life Coach. And so now I get to do what I truly enjoy. It just feeds my soul. A lot of the focus when I'm working with individuals or I'm working with solopreneurs, business and personal always cross over because a person is a person. So you're going to wind up with both sides of it, no matter how you may want to differentiate. A lot of the solopreneurs that I work with, they have this great idea. They want to be in business. They know exactly what they want, but they forget the part of the business of their business. And so that's where I help them, I help them with some brainstorming sessions, some accountability sessions, some things just to bounce off to make sure they're building their operation on solid ground. Because my background is operations, so I know if you have to go from point A to point B, and I help them to get there so they can get to do what they want to do and do what they love to do. In the simplest form, what I tell people that I do is when you were a child and you had a coloring book, you would connect the dots in the coloring book, and then you would color in the pictures. That's what I do. I help people connect the dots, color in the picture, get the life that they want. I help them become unstuck, because a lot of times it's not that they don't have great ideas, and it's not that they're not smart or they don't have the drive. They just kind of freeze. Either there's too many options, they don't know the direction, or they're so focused on I have to have the absolute correct answer when there really isn't a correct answer, that they do nothing. So we get to brainstorm and we get to walk through things. And one of the key things that I do when working with clients is the process mapping. That's one of my key skills that makes this work, because a lot of people use the term life coach, and it can be anything from a health coach to a spiritual advisor. But me, I'm strictly a life coach. I help them with their coaching for their business, for their life. And the process map is key as far as I get from point A to point B. They may be at point A and they want to be at point C, but they're kind of lost in the middle. So we help them to come up with the steps and help them move forward to achieve what they want.
So the mapping that you do, what does that involve?
That's breaking down. When you're breaking down the goals, you see it kind of like the old joke of how do you eat an elephant, and it's one piece at a time. That's exactly what we do. Is you got this whole big mountain and it's a little overwhelming. So we break it down and we keep breaking it down until the steps, number one, the steps connect to get them to where they want to be, and two, the steps are viable, that they just are able to keep moving forward. Now, one of the key things too, as you might have guessed with Sunny Life Coach, is you got to have fun, because when it's not fun, nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to work towards something that it's just constant work all the time. They have to be able to enjoy the journey as well as the destination. And that's how we just breaking it down. That the process mapping is just a breakdown of the bigger picture to take the small steps and get them where they want to be.
So do most people come to you with a goal in mind, or do you have to sort of, delve into that as well?
Well, both. I've had it where people know where they want to be and they can't figure out why they're just not getting there. So that's one piece of it. And then there's people who think they know where they want to be, and but by the time we're done talking it and working it through and working through the process and the steps, they realize the reason they didn't get there is because that's truly not where they wanted to be. They wanted to go in a different direction. And then we help them to regroup and come up with another plan that will get them to a goal that they're happy to achieve. And it'll be more fulfilling to them.
So have you helped or seen people that have come to you recently in amongst all the stuff that's going on and been able to help them kind of get unstuck?
I'm sorry. Oh, you said, have I seen people in this? Yeah. I mean, a couple examples fall into mind. I had one young lady who she knew she was a single mom and she needed to come up with a better plan for taking care of herself and her child. And so in the middle of this whole mess, she decided she wanted to go back to school for some short certifications so it can take her in a different direction. And that's what we did. We worked through it to make sure that was viable. And once she completed it and she got to the other side, what the next steps were. And so that was really fulfilling. And now she's on her way. It's going to be baby steps because it wasn't, a long program like a 2-year or 4-year degree, but it's baby steps, getting in the right direction, getting her into the doors that she needs to. And from that point forward, she'll just keep working it and going in that direction. Then she'll eventually achieve what she wants. So that was a very good story.
Yeah, that's amazing, really. That you helped somebody become unstuck. Because I think that we all, at some point in whatever journey we're in, whether at the beginning or in the middle, we can get sort of stuck and need somebody to sort of see the bigger picture from the outside looking in. And
yeah, it's true. And it's not anything, that's what people have to understand. It's not anything lacking in you. I mean, sometimes you need to sometimes you need a coach, sometimes you need a mentor, sometimes you just need some networking and exposure to some new ideas. But it all comes together. Coaching in one form or another helps you move forward.
Yeah. And instead of being just stuck and not doing anything about that idea, or I know that one time I had somebody who validated what my ideas were, and yes, they were valid, and yes, I had great ideas, and so that gave me the inspiration, I guess, or the momentum I needed to take that further instead of just doing nothing.
No, it is so true. It's that a lot of times I find this too. Another key area I work with people right around the 40-ish, like give it 39, 40, 41, right around there. They have some life experience. They have some business experience. And then they're starting to realize or saying to themselves, is this all there is? And unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, they have what I dubbed the golden handcuffs. They have the paycheck and the benefits and everything, and they have the responsibilities that they have to live up to, and they want to do something else. And but because of personal responsibilities, because of business, because of it got comfortable, they know they have to make a change. They just don't know how to go with it. And I've worked with quite a few people at that level that either we help them start, number one, define what would make them happy. So once we do that, then we came up with a plan for them to have maybe a 3 to 5 year plan as far as a side hustle. Let's start building something while you have a nice income coming in. Start building something on the side, And because the first 2 years of any small business is a pretty big struggle. So if you can get past that with a nice, with money supplementing it, and you can get your business to the next level, then you can transition to it, and then it won't be that much of a shock for you. You know, it's like if you jump in head first as an entrepreneur and you didn't think it all the way through, there's bound to be things that'll come up, and you would wish you would have worked your day job a little longer in order to help you transition. So this has been a great area of success to help people do that, because they when you're working, going to work every day, and you're not necessarily happy with what you're doing, that becomes very draining.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. And yes, great advice there to sort of keep doing what you're doing, but build the other thing, you know, at the same time, and then switch over at some point.
Well, I've always said to my clients, no matter what it is, whether it's a job in your field or something totally unrelated, keep a steady revenue stream coming as you're building your business, so that you make good decisions. You're making decisions. You're not making bad decisions or putting your integrity in question because of money. So if you can keep a steady revenue stream any way you can do it and run your business, that's the ideal way to go until your business starts being totally sustainable.
Yeah. That's wonderful advice. Is there anything else that you can think of that you would advise somebody who's wanting to start a business?
I would, well, depending on what part they're at, if they're working and wanting to start a business, or if they're not working and want to start a business, either way, they should consult with someone, a coach, somebody other than themselves, other than their family, somebody who is objective and confidential, that they can work this plan through. They can have a brainstorming session, and they can see how viable, they can see if there are any pieces missing to the puzzle, and make sure before that'll help them go forward, because once you start, there are so many pieces to that puzzle that you better be able to get moving on, and get moving on pretty quickly. So take that time in the beginning to do it right, and to create a plan of how you're going to establish the business, what parts of the operation, the business of the business are you going to do, how is that going to go, what's your marketing plan, what's your budget. Just put that all out there. It's going to be a moving target, and you're going to change as you go along. But if you start somewhere, at least you'll have a clearer picture of at least what's needed. And then as you're doing it, if you find out, oh, that's not going to work that way, we can do it this way, then it's easier to adjust once you have a plan than to be thrown in the middle of chaos and not have a plan.
Yes, this is true.
We all been there. We all know.
Yeah. Where would somebody find you for your services? Where's the best place to look you up?
Well, I have my website, which is sunnylifecoach.com. I'm also on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. So any of those places. I have an online scheduler on my website. A matter of fact, I'm offering a special right now because of what's going on in the world. I'm trying to make it easier for people to understand more about coaching. So what I'm doing right now is a trial coaching session for 30 minutes. I'm charging $10. I'm giving a free ebook of 8 questions that'll rock your world and get you the life that you want. Plus, I'm giving a $25 coupon once you complete the trial session, a $25 coupon to use on any session. So basically it's free, but I just need you to commit to something and at least try it out and see if it works for you. So you just go on my scheduler, schedule it, and we work from there.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You too, Jenny. It's been my pleasure.